Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and this is your home for CPBL, baseball in Taiwan, and also the KBO in South Korea. Now, we're hearing there may be a bit of rain coming on South Korea. We've had plenty of rain in Taiwan over the last few months, but now it's Korea's chance to get their umbrellas up. Yesterday's games, the Monkeys finally pulled their fingers out and they won 4-0. Now, before I go to our esteemed guest and our maverick and our maestro and our expert, if you like this video, then please subscribe, because if you subscribe, then we can notify you and make sure you never miss any content. Ring the bell and the thumbs up. We need all this, because if we don't get it, then it's pointless us doing the video, because it's you at home that want to watch it. Now, also press the link in the description. You can go over and see Jay's articles. Have a good read. Not just Jay's articles. There's other people over there as well, and they've wrote articles on all sorts of different sports. You'll have a great time. Now, Jay, we're hearing there could be rain in Korea, but first of all, the Monkeys 4-0.
Yeah, we came in saying how Alberto Bonilla has pitched incredible in his starts. The only thing that we were worried about is if the brothers would score a couple more runs than the Monkeys. But again, the Monkeys were able to score 4 runs. Their offense still has been a little bit miserable. Only 4 runs against a pitcher like Liao. It's not good at all. But Bonilla pitched really great 8 innings and got the job done for the Monkeys, who are now back in first place by half a game.
Yeah, and that's amazing, because a lot of people would have thought that the Monkeys would respond, because obviously they've hardly had like maybe 2 wins in the last 8 games. They lose top spot against the brothers, and then all of a sudden, we always used to say the cream rises, and they had to respond, and they did just that. And in the other game on the CPBL, the Lions and the Guardians, the Lions crushed them.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. We went in thinking it was going to be an under game. A bunch of runs were scored early, and the bullpens actually held the offenses for most of the end of the game. Still had 14 runs. We had under 13.5. So it was a bad beat, but it wasn't that bad of a beat because it was already 14 runs after like 7 innings. So it was already hit. Then the bullpens actually pitched well towards the end, which was weird as heck. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go through the games that are on Saturday morning. And remember, we will be here next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So let's kick straight off. The CPBL, we're going with the brothers, who have been in unbelievable form, against the leaders again, the Monkeys.
So this is interesting, because right now the Monkeys have limited starting pitching depth. They just had an injury to Wang. He'll be out for a little bit. So we have Eli Villanueva getting the start for the Monkeys. If you remember his name, it's because he started his only game in the CPBL this season in April. Then he went down to the minor league, so it's called the Futures League. Went down to the minors league, and he's been phenomenal. He went 5-0 in the Futures League in the minors, and he had a 2.78 ERA in those starts. Yeah, so it's hard to really know what's going to happen with Villanueva. His first 2 seasons, he actually played for the CTBC brothers. So this will be his first start against his former team, which will make it a little bit more interesting in this one. Then you have Mitch Lively for the brothers going. He's 3-0 on the season. He's got a 4.93 FIP and a 5 ERA. So he's been pretty well. He's been pretty good. Brothers have scored with him on the mound. So it's a really interesting matchup with 2 import pitchers going at it against each other. Both of these guys came in 2 years ago, and this is their 3rd season in the league. So I have to go with the brothers at plus 100. I think Lively has more going for him at this time. I think he's the more consistent pitcher, and he's had, he's been up in the CPBL a little bit longer. Villanueva was pitching against minor leaguers, so his 5-0 record is good. It's cool, but he had his 1 start back in the day in April where he had an ERA of, I think he allowed like 10 runs in 4 innings or whatever. So he wasn't really good. I think Villanueva will be good. I just think the brothers at plus 100 is a lot better value in this spot. It can go either way, but I'll take that plus money or that even money with the brothers. It's going to be an interesting one for sure. It's going to be a fun one.
What about the totals, OJ?
Yeah, I would lean towards under 12.5. Again, it's really tough. I think both these pitchers will pitch well, but the really big question mark is Villanueva. Will he return to form like he was last season with his brothers? Or will he have a game like he did in April when his first start where he pitched miserably? I don't really know. That's why I'm going to side with the brothers. There's more consistency there. Their hitting's been more consistent. Mitch Lively's been more consistent. So I like the brothers at plus 100 as underdogs. I think that's crazy in my opinion.
And the 12.5, that would seem a bit high as well, because yesterday there was only 4 runs scored, and I think it was 4 runs in the fourth. So since the fourth, there was nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't think the Monkeys' offense is any good anymore. And the brothers, they'll score some runs, but, with Villanueva, if he produces the way he should be, then yeah, there's no way that the brothers are going to score anywhere close to a double-digit number.
No, I like the under 12.5. I'll go on record. Like the under 12.5. Okay, let's kick on. Guardians versus the Lions. The Lions take the Guardians yesterday as they liked.
The Uni Lions are like impossible to figure out. One day they're scoring dozens of runs. The next, they're just quiet, and we don't know what the heck happened to them. But I'll tell you something that I think is going to happen this time. I think they're going to be quiet. Henry Sosa's on the mound for the Guardians. They're basically their ace pitcher. They have a couple ace pitchers per se, but Henry Sosa is their main guy. He's 4-2 on the season. He has a 4.62 ERA and a 4.61 FIP. Here's the issue here. Sosa had a bad start to the season. He got injured as well. The game before he got injured, he faced the Uni Lions in his only start of the season against the Uni Lions. He allowed 10 runs in 2 innings pitched. And he had 11 hits in 2 innings. He was awful. But then after that, he was injured, came back after 2 weeks. Then his strikeout number started to increase. He started to go deeper into games, and he looked a lot better. So his only game was that game where he went 2 innings against the Uni Lions. But I think he'll be a lot better in this start. He's gotten a lot better throughout the season. And then Josh Renicki's on the mound for the Uni Lions. He's been miserable all year. Hasn't corrected it at all. But he didn't start the season, with the team. He had a quarantine for a little bit, and then came in. He's got a 9.24 ERA and a 7.44 FIP in 4 starts. He's had 6 appearances. He's had 2 relief appearances. In 2 games against the Guardians, these were his first 2 starts. Or he had a start, and he also had a relief appearance against Fuba, and these were his first 2 appearances on the season. He allowed 5 runs in a no decision, and then 7 runs in a defeat in 8 innings in total. So in 8 innings, he allowed 12 runs to the Guardians in those games. He hasn't improved at all. His walk rate is really good. He won't walk many batters, but he's getting hit hard. I think the Guardians will be able to hit him hard in this one as well. That's why I love the Guardians at minus 145. I know it's going up a little bit, but Sosa in this spot at just minus 145 against a guy like Josh Reinicke, who's been absolutely terrible this season. I love the Guardians in this spot. I'll also lean towards the under 13.5 because, again, it's 2 important pitchers in this game. Reinicke has a good career ERA. He's just been awful this season. I don't think he'll correct this season at all. It's a weird situation for Reinicke, but he doesn't look good at all. So, again, I'll lean towards under 13.5 in this matchup.
Jay, with the Guardians pitcher, do you think that the indication was that he was actually pitching while he was injured? Because obviously he's had them 2 absolute nightmares. He gave up 10 runs in 2 games. Then he got injured, and obviously since he's come back, he's been a lot better. So is there a chance that we can actually put a line through the 10 runs in 2 games because he was probably feeling it and now he's fresh?
Yeah, definitely possible. And it could have even been lingering from the start of the season, because right after that, his strikeout numbers just went through the roof. Now he's going 7-8 innings a start. He looks a lot better, just pitching so much with more calm. He just looks so much he looks like himself now. Last season he was really good for the Guardians in the first half of the season. Then he left, but he pitched like 12 games in that first season. It was phenomenal, under like a 2 ERA, and so I think he's getting back into form now.
Okay, excellent. Okay, let's kick on to Broly's up, possibly, in the KBO, but we've got to go through them anyway. I'm going to start off with the Eagles and the Bears. Eagles, fade them as we like, and the Bears, obviously, they're going to be up there at the end.
Yeah, it's great to fade the Eagles, but if you look at the lines, there's really not too many ways to turn, because you're not going to take the juice and Bears at minus 1.5 with a juice at minus 200. That's just insane. I've never seen that in baseball before.
No, do minus 2.5, Jay. I said minus 2.5 yesterday.
I'm not touching any run lines above 1.5. I don't have the guts for that. But I'll tell you one thing I do have the guts for is taking the Deuce and Bears team total over 7.5. You know, I never do this kind of stuff, but today I'm changing it up because it's been a really odd, weird week where I just went 2-2, 2-2, 3-3. I want to have a winning day for once, so
Yeah, we all
I'm
do.
changing it up. I'm changing it to the Houston team total at over 7.5, and the juice is at plus 105, so it's still really good odds for 7.5. The reason being is Hanwha's got a rookie pitcher going, so it's his first start in the KBO. Han Seung-ju is going, and so we don't know too much about him. Obviously, he's a rookie pitcher, and it might be a little scary because if Hanwha loses one more, they're in the record books for the longest losing streak in the KBO. There's a lot of pressure on him right now, and he's going up against a Doosan offense that destroys righties, destroys on the road. I feel bad for the guy, so I'm going with the Doosan team total at over 7.5. Then the over under in that game is actually 11.5. But if you were to play on the total, I would say probably over 11.5. But again, that's risky, so I would definitely stick to the Doosan team total at over 7.5. And I wouldn't touch the money line at minus 315 unless you're doing a parlay.
And they're things you've got to do. When there's a season of 140 games, you've got to bend, you've got to adapt, you've got to overcome, Jay, because we started off with money lines and totals, and then we got money lines, you've got totals, you've got handicaps, you've got team totals, under and overs, you've got first 5 innings, under and overs. You have got to adapt and overcome, and that's what you seem to be doing. Now, let's see if we can get them right. Okay, the next game, we've got the Dinos and the Heroes, 2 good sides.
Yeah, wow, what a game this morning, right? We had Chang Mo. He's the best pitcher in the league, and he couldn't get the win after pitching phenomenally. The Dinos were quiet against a guy that had a 7 point whatever ERA. It's just phenomenal. I actually saw a stat on Twitter. I think his name was Andy Wang or Andrew Wang. He did a stat where it said when people have an ERA, when a player has an ERA of 3 points or higher when they're facing each other, the team with the higher ERA is actually 18-6. That was before this morning, so probably even crazier now. But we're seeing, so like a guy with a 3 ERA and a guy with a 6 ERA, the guy with the 6 ERA would win 18 times out of 24, which is just 66%. Yeah, it's mind-boggling for such a gap like that. It's ridiculous, but it was a really fun game in the morning. Definitely lost out on our banker, but it's a new day. We have Han Hyun Hee of Kiwoom going against Lee Ja Hak of the Dinos. Both of these guys have an ERA of about 5 and an FIP of around 4.3. So it looks even on paper, but lefties are hitting 358 against Jayhawk. And Jayhawk's, like we said, he's an average pitcher. But then Han Hyun Hee faced the Dinos once this season. He allowed 5 runs in 4.1 innings. The Dinos are 13-5 at home. They usually play well off of losses, like we always talk about, and they hit 318 at home on an average. So I would lean toward the Dinos at minus 195. If you want to do the run line, that's fine. I'm not really going to touch this game. It's the pitching matchup that just seems so close on paper. It's hard to really justify any going either way. I'll also lean towards under 11.5. We've seen a bunch of unders start hitting as of late. At the beginning of the season, there's a bunch of overs. Now, like this morning, it was all unders. There were only 4 games, so we didn't have the 5th game. But yeah, we're seeing a lot more unders now. So I would lean towards 11.5 in that matchup as well.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, Jay, but as soon as I said 66%, I knew I was wrong. I knew it was 75%, and I was absolutely disgusted with myself, but I had to be patient for 35, 40 seconds before I could rectify that. I hate being wrong, and especially when it comes to numbers. 75%. So that's basically minus 300. And if you're getting minus 195, a lot of people will see that as you're ahead of the curve and you're getting the value. Let's move on. The Wyverns and the Tigers, please, Jay.
Yeah. So this morning we had the Tigers. They won 6-3. The game, I think, just hit. I think you could have got 9.5 or around 9 range. So just kind of hit the under there. This one I see he's going to hit I feel he's going to hit the under as well. My official play is under 10.5 at around the juices minus 110, minus 120 range. we have two pitchers. I'm Ki Young of Kia. He's 28 strikeouts and 4 walks. He has a 3.34 ERA and a 3.38 FIP. He's the back end starter, so he's not supposed to be this good, but he looks good. He's not overpowering, but he's good enough to get the job done. And Kia's been playing a lot better on the road as of late, but they're still not hitting the ball too well. It's really the pitching that's doing most of the work. And then on SK side, they got Moon Seung Won. He's also got 33 strikeouts and 6 walks. So right here, we see guys that have really good strikeout to walk ratio. And also, Moon Seung Wong has a 4.68 ERA and a 3.48 FIP. So again, we're seeing two guys with FIPs under 3.5. So I like the under 10.5. If you want to play a little bit, do a little bit more, you can take the under the first 5, which I think is around 5.5. You can do that as well. Kia is 15-4 with hitting under on the road this season. The Tigers like to be patient at the plate. They lean on walks, and Moon Seung Wong doesn't really give too many walks, so Kia could struggle. They also lost another batter this morning to injury, so now that makes it 2 batters for Kia. Yeah, so we're going with the under 10.5. A lot of lost batters and a lot of great pitching.
Yeah, and leave out that money line. Okay, then let's go with the Twins and the Giants, because these two on their day, they're very evenly matched.
Yeah, this is crazy. We came up in the morning, we saw that Roberto Ramos, who's the best pitcher or the best hitter in the league, he's injured out for a little bit. So now they lose a big bat in their lineup that has actually Ramos has won a couple of games. He's had a walk-off homer. He's had a 2-run homer to take the lead just a couple of days ago. So it's a tough one. I'm going to lean towards the Twins at -185. I'd also lean, if you're going to take the over/under, I would also lean towards the Twins at over 5.5 at +107 instead of taking the over/under in this game. Here's the reason why. Wu Chan, it's interesting. He's 4-2, and Si Wong is 1-4. Si Wong is from Latte, and Wu Chan is from LG. They have the same stats throughout on paper, but then Wu Chan is 4-2 and Si Wong is 1-4. So we can just right there, it's just hashtag run support. Okay, Park Si-wong's not getting any run support, and Cha Wu-chan is getting run support. And then the Giants are struggling against lefty pitching. They're hitting 186 this season against lefties, and Cha Wu-chan's a lefty. They've also struggled on the road. They're hitting just 239 on the road this season. And then Si Wong has a 7.20 ERA on the road this season, and he's also struggled against lefties. The lefties are hitting 366. And although Ramos isn't there, they still have a couple lefty bats that can do some damage. So I like the Twins in this matchup. It's not an official play. Ramos is out. It's tough. I don't think I'm taking any teams today to win on the money line. The money lines are just outrageous today. But it would be Twins -185 if you're going to take that matchup.
Okay, and maybe I quite like, forget the money line and just go with the over 5.5, because you can score +107 and you can score and actually lose the game, but you pick up. So listen, I think that a lot of people may be interested in that one. I'll still timestamp that anyway. So, and then we go to the Lions and the Wiz, and for them there was no play today.
Yeah, that stunk, because what's weird is Odorizmir Despaigne, right? He has pitched really poorly in his last 2 starts, right? On 5 days rest. So he went to the management and said, hey, I want to pitch in 4 days. My stats are much better in 4 days. So he was coming into this game due to injury, pitching in 4 games. Now he's pitching back in 5 days split, which is stats have been not nearly as good as 4 days. So what's going to happen here? I don't really know. I do think Despaigne will pitch fine. I don't think that this is an actual problem. I think it's just in his head. I don't think it's serious. Going up against Samsung, it's a bad hitting team. Obviously, some days they will come up and do some damage. But Saladino of the Lions, a third baseman, first baseman, and outfielder, the utility import hitter, he's actually injured. He might be out for the series, which really would hurt Samsung in this matchup. So I like Despaigne to bounce back in this one. He's got a 4.29 ERA, but just an FIP of 3.28. So he's been a lot better than his ERA. It's just 2 poor games back to back, but I think he'll rebound. And then you got David Buchanan of Samsung going. He's got a 3.79 ERA and a 4.86 FIP. Despaigne, again, he struggled a lot, but then for Buchanan, he's looked really good in his last couple of starts. Righties are just hitting 191 against Buchanan, and the Wiz mainly have righties in their lineup. So my official play would be under 9.5 in this one. Again, 2 import pitchers going after it. We just had one in the morning, today's morning, that hit with the 2 import pitchers going out against each other. So my official play is under 9.5. You could also look at the F5. I'll stick with the official 9.5. And then also you can lean towards KT at minus 160. But again, Buchanan looks so good. It's hard to really lean either way in this one. I do think that Spiny will bounce back. But again, remember, he pitches a little bit worse on 5 days rest. We'll have to see if that trend continues.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a strange one that you seem to pitch better after 4 days rest than you do 5. 5, you think you're even more rested up. Rafa, can you just leave that graphic up, please, of the Lions and the Wiz? Because the Lions and the Wiz, they're going to have back-to-back games. And although we haven't got any money lines out, we do actually know the pitchers, Jay.
Yeah, the probable pitchers are likely going to be Bae Jae Song of KT and Lee Seung Min of Samsung. So Lee Seung Min, he's also a rookie, so we're getting 2 rookies tomorrow as long as there's no rain, which will be interesting because he's a lefty pitcher. And KT Wiz, they hit lefties 310 average this season, which is the best against lefties out of all teams this season. And then Bae Jae Sung, he's looked really good for KT. He's got a 2.11 ERA and a 3.83 FIP. He's only allowed 9 earned runs in 38.1 innings pitched. He's looked really good. So right here, I would easily go KT. I know the money line might be a little bit high in this one, especially with KT going up against a rookie pitcher. If Samsung wins their first game, it's an automatic play for KT to split in this one. Again, we've seen 4 games so far in the doubleheaders with LG, and all those 4 games went under. I don't know if that's going to continue, but I do believe that both these games will go under as well. If that trend continues, that will look really good. But just by the stats, I do think both these games go under, especially if Saladino's out, which is a big bat in the Samsung lineup. So I would go with KT in this one. Again, we don't really know what the over-under is, but I would probably lean towards the under, whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, just be careful because the Lions are involved. It's as simple as that. We've earned no money on the Lions, but I tell you what, we've kept plenty of money if we steer clear of the Lions because they win when you don't want them to and they lose when you go with them. Anyway, listen, Jay, give me a rundown, please. Get yourself back to Taiwan, and I want the rundown. If there's a parlay, and obviously the banker at the end, please.
All right, so we're going Brothers plus 100 in the Monkeys TTPC game. As an official play, we'll also lean towards the under 12.5 in that matchup. Then for the Fubon Guardians and Uni Lions game, we'll go with an official play with the Guardians at minus 145. I know it's going up a little bit, so definitely grab it when you can. Also leaning towards the under 13.5 in that matchup. For the Kia Tigers SK Wyverns game, we'll go with an official play under 10.5. We'll also lean towards Kia at minus 130. And then you can also take the F5 under F5 in that matchup as well if you're feeling a little bit risky. The KT Wiz Samsung Lions game 1, we'll go with the official play of under 9.5 in that matchup. We'll also lean towards KT at minus 160. For the Lucky Giants LG Twins game, we're going to lean towards the LG Twins at minus 185. We'll also lean towards LG Twins at the over 5.5 at plus 107 juice in that one. For the Deuce and Bears Hanwha Eagles game, our official play will be the Deuce and Bears team total of over 7.5. We'll also lean towards Deuce and Bears at minus 1.5 at minus 210 or the 315 on the money line if you want to put that in a parlay, which we'll get into in a bit. And the over-under is 11.5, but I wouldn't touch that if you're going with the Deuce and Bears team total. Then the Key Room Heroes NC Dinos game, we'll lean towards the Dinos at minus 195. Also lean towards the 11.5 in that matchup. And then on a parlay in the KBO, if you want to do that, you can do a Bears Twins parlay at around plus 100. So you're able to get your Bears money line in with the Twins in that one. If you want to get even more risky, I really like the Guardians in this matchup with Henry Sosa. So if you add that to the parlay, it will be around plus 215, plus 220, around that range. So you get a little bit more odds with the Guardians. I really like that play. And the Guardians, again, will be my banker play, my first banker play in the CPBL. So I guess that kind of really shows how confident I am in Henry Sosa in this one.
Okay, well, let me just give you a little bit of housekeeping, because first of all, I thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we really appreciate everyone's views. We've been having over 1,000 views per day. But then that doesn't add up, because we've only been having a small fraction of you actually putting your thumbs up. So I'm asking you to subscribe, ring the bell, and we will notify you for all content. And please put your thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. And it shows an appreciation to Jay. It also arms me when I go into the boss and say that we want to do more baseball shows with Jay, that you're actually enjoying it. So please keep up the good work, keep following us, and press the link in the article, press the link in the description, and that will take you to Jay's article. Also, we're going to be here next Monday, but that will be at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Now, before that, join us for La Liga at 10:30 Eastern time. Then we have the 2 Premier League punters games. And then we have a full Bundesliga card. So we've got La Liga, Premier League, and Bundesliga. And then we'll end up with myself and Jay going through the KBO and the CPBL. Jay, have a great weekend. I'll be cheering you on, and a busy Monday awaits.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you. And I'll see you on Monday.
Thanks, that's Jay. I've been Flash. We've had a great week. Join us again on Monday, and we'll go for it again. You take care.